I thought we would go back in time to the 3rd of October 2023. What do you remember most about that specific day?
Well, what I remember most is, of course, the telephone call from the Academy of Sciences. This was very important, very nice. And also what I remember is that they asked me to stay on the phone to be part of the press conference, and I was thinking, oh, but I am in the middle of a lecture. I need to go back to my students. How am I going to do that? And in the end, I asked the Academy to be able to go back to my class, and this is what I did.
They said okay?
Yes. So I went back to my class. It was, I think, I was so shocked that I think they guessed that what had happened. But I finished my class and then I went back to my office to be part of the press conference. And when I come out of my office, there are many people waiting for me, and this was very, very intense day.
Is there any event or experience during this year that has meant a lot to you personally?
I have done many things this year that has been quite different from what I'm doing normally. There is one event which I think was very nice, and this is when I visited the old school of my two children, and this happened like that. I got a very nice card from class 4 at Paletskolan in Lund with congratulations for the Nobel Prize. Oh, could you come and visit us and tell us about the prize? And I answered, yes, I can do that, but maybe not now. It was in November, December, but in the spring. And after that, nothing happened, but around Easter, it was nice weather. My husband was working in the garden, and there are 3 boys that come with their bicycle close to the entrance of our villa, and my husband asked them, "What do you want?" And they answered, "Oh, is there someone that got the Nobel Prize that live here?" And my husband said, "Yes, it's my wife." Oh, she promised she would come and visit us during the spring, and now it's spring. It was very nice weather, so can she come and visit us? And of course, then I contacted the teacher of their class, and I visited them, and I prepared a special lecture for a 10-year-old, and I think it went well. It was very nice.
Was there anything that was a bit odd to you during this year?
Yes, what was odd was when I had to fire the cannon in the Lundagård. It was in November, so that was a bit strange, not expected at all.
And I must ask you, what was your day like today, and how is it different from a normal day just a year ago?
First, I'm giving an interview. This I did not do 1 year ago. So yeah, my life has changed quite a lot because of the Nobel Prize. It's like I have a different job now, which is called a little bit outreach and talk about science to everyone in the society. So yes, I have many mails, many invitations, and I have to decide, should I say yes or no. A lot of travel. It's like having a different job. I don't have much time to do research anymore, so I'm trying to follow what my group is doing.
Were you at all prepared for this massive attention?
No, I was not prepared at all. I think no one can be prepared. It's really like becoming a rock star from one day to the other. People in Lund on the street, they They were stopping me to ask for a selfie or for an autograph. And this has happened during the whole year, a little bit everywhere. In Sweden, of course, in France quite a lot, and also a little bit everywhere where I was going.
Yeah, that must be so strange.
Yeah, it's very strange.
And do you approve the selfies?
No, I don't like, to be honest, I don't like it very much, but if it makes people happy, yeah, I'm happy to do it.
And so being a Nobel Prize winner also means that you have become kind of a role model for people all over the world, really. Do you have any kind of role model or specific people who inspires you?
Yeah, I have had, I think, many, several people that has inspired me. I would say, for example, the fact that Marie Curie had existed and had done everything she did was important for me as a woman in science. When I was a child, I was very much inspired by my grandfather on my mother's side, because he was working with radio, and even he used his knowledge to help the resistance movement during World War II with communication via radio. So this inspired me very much as a little girl. Then, of course, I had good teachers that have inspired me. A good teacher in mathematics at high school, and then very good teacher in quantum mechanics at university. And this is why I did what I'm doing now and what I got the Nobel Prize for, is because of this inspiration towards science, towards physics, and more particular atomic physics.
After reading interviews with you, I get a feeling that you have a very optimistic and constructive approach to challenges in your working field. Is there anything at all that you find slightly challenging?
Of course, there are many things I find challenging, but actually what I'm doing now is I find a bit challenging because it's a lot about a little bit outreach, and it's a little bit going against my own personality, where I like to be myself with a small group doing research and not at all telling about it. So I find it a little bit challenging to have the energy to do it as I'm doing now. At the same time, I find it's probably important that I devote some time to it.
What kind of conditions would you say are important for university to provide for researchers who aim for a Nobel Prize?
First of all, I don't think one should aim for a Nobel Prize. I think one should aim to do good research, both fundamental research or more applied research towards certain goals. I think the university should provide good resources, good environment, a good research environment, not too many disturbing tasks. There is a tendency now that too much administration, so they should really not increase more, just the contrary. So, but I would say most important, I would like to say, to provide a good research environment.
Is there any kind of advice you would like to give to aspiring researchers or students in your field?
In my own research field, what I want to say is that it's not because there is a Nobel Prize now that the research is kind of done and over. I think it's just the contrary. I think the research in ultrafast science, attosecond science, is very, very open, and it's important to now use the attosecond pulses that we know how to make now, to use them to find new things, so to use them in basic research and as well as more applied research. So I think there is really a lot to do. This is extremely interesting field of research.
So it's not done?
No, it's not done at all. No, I would almost say it's just the contrary. Now we can do interesting things. We can study matter with this new tool. And there is a lot to learn.
What is next in your life?
So I'm going to do this Nobel job, if I can call it like that. I would say at least 1 year ahead, and maybe more. Then I hope this will decrease. I'm getting close to retirement, so I'm not sure I will go back to research as I did before. I will, of course, follow the research that is performed in my group, try to help my group, and my aim is to make this group sustainable and really strong internationally, which it is now, but it should continue like this. Then I still have a dream, which is to write a textbook on what I have been studying during the last 30 years or more. I think I can. This would be to the next generation PhD students in the field. So I hope I will have time to do that.
Is there anything you would like to tell 20-year-old Anne Lullier today?
Well, not so much. I think she kind of took the right decision in her career and in her life. Maybe I would like to tell her, oh, you should not have been so worried by taking these decisions. And some decisions, like for example moving to Sweden, where it was a big decision, but I'm very happy I took it.
Okay, and thank you so much for coming here today and sharing your experiences and thoughts.
Thank you very much.